Our wet spring brought welcome drought relief, but now a large part of the region is back in drought status. I talked to Daryl Ritchison, the director of the North Dakota Ag Weather Network, to see how dry the region actually is and discuss the winter weather outlook. So Daryl, how is the region sitting in terms of moisture?
Most of the state, not all that well. We have soil moisture probes with the end on throughout the state down to 40 inches, and most locations are dry through 8. Once you get down to the lower depths, still quite a bit of water from the rain and or snow from last spring, but really that top foot has dried off quite a bit. I will say the snowstorm and rain system from earlier in the week did bring quite a bit of rain. There's some parts of western North Dakota that got 1 to 3 inches of rain, but really that was about maybe 20% of the state. The other 80% really did not get much moisture from that particular system.
So would you say there's any comparison between the months that we're experiencing now and the fall of 2020?
In many ways, you could say yes. The fall of 2020 also had a precipitation event, but it did not trigger much of the state. So if you want to make that comparison, you could, because the conditions are similar, but the reasons it occurred then over what is causing it now, to me, is a little bit different.
So as we're heading into those winter months, do you think there are going to be turbulent winter storms like we experienced last year?
Well, here's the thing. Last year, the upper level wind flow was pretty stagnant. And really all we had was a bunch of Alberta clippers. We get Alberta clippers every winter. It's just the storm track last year was perfect. So instead of getting like 1 or 2 bad Alberta clippers, we had 8, 9, 10 of them. And so the odds of that happening 2 winters in a row are quite low. But again, storm from earlier in this week, although not an Alberta clipper, still triggered a lot of wind. Again, we live in the northern plains, so you should anticipate some of that. We get it almost every winter, but to the degree of last year, I would be a little bit surprised if we did, but that still means we're probably going to get 2 or 3.
So would you say the region's in need of one large weather event to kind of help with the moisture issue?
Contrary to sometimes what most people believe, you don't get a lot of absorption of winter snowfall into the soil. Most of it ends up running away. So if we're really going to replenish the moisture, it's probably going to occur next spring after the melt, not necessarily what's going to occur this winter, because again, I will emphasize, not much of that ends up into the soil outside the top inch or 2.
It's most certainly going to be an interesting couple of months. Daryl Ritchison, Director of NDON. Thanks for watching AgWeek TV on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every Saturday.